Well, there's a lot going on here. I'm an artist, I'm a musician, and I like to go places and do things. So join me on my adventures and I'll share them with you. Let me know what you want to see here on the Ohio Jimbo channel. It's cold and snowy outside. You can see the ground's nice and snowy. So you're probably wondering why I'm wearing all this. Well, it's because, well, I'm going on this. I like to take a ride on this. I like to go out every chance I get. This time of year, if you've never tried it, it's a different type of ride, a complete different type of ride. There's no bugs, no bugs at all. But truth be known, everybody looks at it, it's like, oh my gosh, you gotta be cold. You know what, you put gloves on and a jacket, it's just like when you were a kid and you went sledding and such. You still are okay, you're comfortable. So I like to take my bike out for a ride, and I do tell you that certain things you have to know about. When I'm riding in the winter, I get a lot more comfortable in these later stages in life because of what the bike has. And if you look, the bike right here has I've got lowers on my bike here. The heat from that engine comes up and keeps you pretty warm. I do have a heated seat, I do have heated grips, so heated grips, the heated seat, but most importantly, you see, I got boots on, I've got thick pants on, I do wear a nice thick jacket. So of all of that, it's really important to get dressed properly, and I'm really lucky too. I have a great big windshield here, look at this. So, and the windshield is automated, so I can bring the windshield up or down, it doesn't matter. But in the wintertime, I like to keep that thing up as much as possible. So if you get a chance to get out and ride in wintertime, don't knock it till you've tried it, because it does something to you. It's a mental clarity that you can have when you're on the bike and it's cold and you feel the air coming around. Your senses are heightened, so I think you're 10 times more aware of everything around you. So you watch for it, you look for it. Other riders, other drivers, every once in a while I see another rider here in Ohio. But the biggest part about riding is the mental clarity you get. If you've ever done an ice plunge or you've done a cold bath in the middle of winter, you'll know what I'm talking about. So without further ado, let's hit the road and just get out there and get some wind therapy on a nice brisk day here in January. It's not bad. It's 30 degrees now, so somewhere around 30. I think it's the upper 20s, but we'll be fine. Come on, let's go for a ride. So when you're riding in cold weather, it's important to have good gear. And I'm going to say one of the first things to have is good thick pants. I wear 2 layers of jackets, gauntlet gloves. Gauntlet gloves are important because it keeps the wind from going up your sleeves. Without them, you can get some pretty good chill going up your sleeve. But I like to try to wear as warm as possible. And when you do that, you protect yourself from any of those wild elements. Once you get inside your gear, now I don't wear any heated gear. I do have heated grips, and I do have a heated seat. So there's that. Today's temperatures we just got 24 degrees. I think today we're going to get above freezing for the first time in, like, I don't know, 2 weeks at least. A given is the full-faced helmet. Without a doubt, a full-faced helmet is important. When I close this, you'll probably hear me completely differently. I leave it open just a little crack here. Because you know, I'm on the Indian, I do have a windshield that comes up and down. So I put it on the full up for now. But this is the January ride. I say January ride because I try to ride every month of the year. Except here we are, it's January. We're riding out in the beautiful snowy weather. And a lot of people wonder what the things to do in Ohio in January. One of them, get out and ride your motorcycle. It's not that bad. I'm in no heated gear, I'm in regular clothing here. But the big thing to do is look around at some of the fairs and festivals, not so much fairs, but more festivals. There's ice festivals, winter festivals, All kinds of cool stuff going on. I highly encourage you to get out and check them out. Whether they're indoor or outdoor, you could still have a lot of fun in Ohio in the wintertime in January. Well, January is winter, dead of winter. But for all intents and purposes, there's enough to do that you can keep yourself active. The reason I'm slowing down so much, I'm turning on turns, and there is some granular pebbles and remnants left over from salt trucks and snow trucks and such. And you don't want to hit them hot, because you hit them hot, you're going down. That's one of the very few worries you have in wintertime, is those piles of debris. Some people call them washouts. I think they're just remnants from the snow plows that are dragging up all the gravel and such. But anyway, things to do in Ohio. From Cleveland to Cincinnati, from Portsmouth up to Toledo, there's always something to do, and everybody likes to celebrate winter. Especially those groups that are near lakes and such, because they rely on traffic and transportation coming in there, and tourism coming in all summer long. They live off of it. But in the wintertime, they got nothing. So search out some of those events and help support your local areas, because it's all about them having business and making business and doing some fun stuff. And a lot of places like around Buckeye Lake, you'll find musicians and stuff playing during Winterfest weekend. Now, that's the last Saturday in January every year. But they pull out all the stops and they have fun with it. There's also Ice Fest and Winterfest all over the state, where they're just having fun celebrating winter. I think they have the Great Walleye Drop. They have in February there's the Burning Snowman Festival, which that just is absolutely hilarious, when they put a giant snowman on the beach and burn him down like Burning Man. So anyway, there's a lot of things to do in Ohio. All you got to do is seek them out, find them. My goal is to be able to find as many as possible that makes an enjoyable time, and get out and try to find out what's out there. So right now I'm just on a ride, enjoying what I can see. I just encourage you to get out, support businesses in the wintertime here in Ohio, explore this wonderful state year-round. Which, by the way, if you're an outdoorsman, even right now, check out any one of our state parks. I prefer Hocking Hills, because Hocking Hills has 6 or 7 different major attractions out there, major feature attractions that you can actually walk through this time of year, see beautiful, magnificent waterfalls. Just a really, really nice area. And I highly encourage you to get out and experience that as well. You'll find me out riding every chance I get. I really enjoy riding, but I do have a personal reason why I ride, and that personal reason is it's been a story I've kept with me. And I've been riding motorcycles since I was 15 years old. Maybe not legally, but I was. And well, I always had bikes around me, and whenever I could afford it, I would buy one and I would ride it. And most of the times I would pilfer my brother's motorcycles and use them as my source of transportation. And sometimes I had to ride, the whole year. It was my only vehicle. And I had no choice. Here in Ohio, that's pretty rugged. And I do remember riding in a few inches of snow and not really understanding how that bike was going to perform, but it made it through. And the scary thing was wind blowing when I would go by a truck or something, or a truck would go by me. But the reason I ride now isn't for any other reason. It's not stupidity. It's a personal challenge. It's a personal commitment. And I'll sum it up as quick as I can. My father left when I was really young, 7 years old. And I really never saw him again. He didn't live far from us. He just was out of the picture. And I had grown up, gone to high school, graduated, tried to leave for college, first year of college. Came back from my first year of college, and a buddy of mine said, "Hey, let's go have a beer." And we ran to a bar, and lo and behold, in this bar was a man playing guitar, and his stage name was Stony Star on guitar. I looked real close at him, and turned out that was my dad. Okay, I'm just one of the breaks. I talked to him and introduced myself, and he said he recognized me, and his calling card was a small polished stone. That's what he would give to people. Here's Stony Star on guitar. He'd give him this polished stone. Now, I was 19 years old. Hadn't seen him in a long time. So I kept that stone, It went with me through art school. It went with me through just about everything. Somehow stayed with me, and it's kind of one of those things that when he gave it to me, I was happy to have it. It was a part that I'd never got to know about my dad. He was a stage musician, and well, anyway, time flew by. That was when I was 19. Fast forward, my goodness, quite a few years, a couple decades. I was 37 years old, had my first kid, and my son was a spitting image of me. And my dad had reached out to me and contacted me and said, hey, I'd like to get to know your son. And we knew that he and I would never have, my dad and I would never have a relationship. We'd never throw catch. We'd never go out and do anything like that. But I knew that if he wanted to, I wasn't going to stand in his way. So I said, sure, let's do it. Get to know him. And my dad came up to my house. I took him out on my boat. We went fishing a couple times. We played some horseshoes, and we sit around on the deck and play guitar and sing, and my son would be there, and it was really a happy moment for me. And it wasn't too long after that, this is the tragic part, my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and we had just begun building that relationship. It wasn't but maybe a year and a half later that we lost him. But on his deathbed, one of his last requests was to get back on a motorcycle. He was a rider too all of his life. And my brother and I were like, if we get him a motorcycle, he might kill himself. My goodness, we were so scared of that. But, you know, in retrospect, I wish I would have put him on a bike. We never did get him on a bike. But on his deathbed, I promised him that I would ride every month of the year for him. Every month of the year. And it didn't matter the weather, raining, snow, whatever. I would do it in honor of him, and I would carry him with me in my heart. And he said very calmly, would you do that for me? And I said, absolutely, I'd do that for you. So we got the opportunity to ride for him, and I did it. He passed away in May, so that wasn't a hard month. June wasn't a hard month. July obviously wasn't hard all the way through, and then December, January, and February came, and well, that was a little bit more challenge. But now, fast forward, it's been over 20 years and I've been doing that. And to this day, I carry that stone with me that my dad gave me. It's with me on this keychain of this motorcycle, and it's been on every main motorcycle that I've had. I carried it with me. And when I do, and I make sure I get that ride in for him, I always hold that stone in my hand and I say, this one's for you, Dad. And well, it's January. It's pretty darn cold out, and this one's for you, Dad. So to those of you who think I'm nuts, crazy, goofy, silly, or dumb for riding, shame on you, because that's why I do it. And I won't stop just because someone says I'm stupid. But right now it's a personal conviction, and I enjoy the time. It's therapy. I'm sitting here on a bike talking to myself right now. And actually I'm talking to you, but I know that when I'm riding, even when I don't have a camera on, I'm having good conversation with myself, and the clarity is really good. And on a cold day like this, it is invigorating. You get out here and it lightens your senses up. It really does. You kind of become a little bit more engaged. And I can tell you that in January in Ohio, every once in a while, I'll see another bike out. So I know I'm not the only one doing it. Ride safe, my friends. Whether you ride for fun or ride for a purpose, ride safe. Until later, this is Ohio Jimbo. I hope to see you out there in here. There's a lot going on here. I'm an artist, I'm a musician, and I like to go places and do things. So join me on my adventures and I'll share them with you. Let me know what you want to see here on the Ohio Jimbo channel.